What's up, America? Y'all know this is dropping it. It has been estimated that blacks have a collective income of approximately $688 billion here in the United States of America. Also, we have approximately 900,000 black owned and operated businesses in this country. Out of that approximate 688 billion, we only spend 4% with these businesses. The reasons I mention this is to emphasize the magnitude in which we have lost control over some of these basic things necessary to develop growth as a nation. During the time after slavery, and subsequently into Jim Crow, we had a sense of unity among us as black people. We somehow understood the struggles that we had to endure here in the wilderness of North America. That unity was out of the threat of a common enemy. Although we still have the same enemy, the unity has dissolved to the point where there isn't any. We had countless examples like the United Negro Improvement Association, founded in 1914 by Marcus Garvey. Garvey, a native of Jamaica, came to the United States in 1916. Once here, he found many people eager to join with him and his message of self-determination and ideology of Pan-Africanism. Garvey was incredible in his program that would later serve as an example of what proper organization could accomplish. Mr. Garvey was able to have over 1 million black people involved in his movement. In 1930, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad will form the Nation of Islam. Mr. Muhammad, a native of Sandersville, Georgia, would establish many successful businesses and temples throughout the United States. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad showed black people that they could have their own schools, restaurants, clothing stores, bakeries, newspapers, and places of worship without being dependent on whites or even white patronage. To this date, the Nation of Islam has been the most successful of any black organization to do this. In 1942, James Farmer Jr. established CORE, the Congress of Racial Equality. Mr. Farmer was intelligent, and at age 14 he attended Wiley College in Marshall, Texas. Mr. Farmer formed this organization stemming from many black men he heard of that was lynched in the South, and out of the need for blacks to be accepted equally and without prejudices. In 1957, Martin Luther King helped to establish the Southern Christian Leadership Council, or SCLC. This organization was formed to develop a program of nonviolence resistance and to serve as an active force for civil rights. SCLC organized successful marches and boycotts, and was among one of the driving forces towards establishing civil rights for our people. In 1960, SNCC, or SNCC, was formed by a courageous sister by the name of Ella Barker at Shaw University, located in Raleigh, North Carolina. Miss Baker, was a native of Norfolk, Virginia, and worked along such great civil rights activists as W.E.B. Du Bois, Thurgood Marshall, A. Philip Randolph, and Martin Luther King, and mentored others such as Kwame Ture, formerly Stokely Carmichael. This organization was started with black college students fed up with the inequality of this country, standing up for change. In 1966, Huey Newton and Bobby Seale formed the Black Panther Party. The Panthers was formed out of a need for black people to have protection from racial entities coming inside of the community, including police officers and politicians. They formulated a 10-point program outlining the demands of the community. The common denominator in all of these is the unity each displayed. We had no time to be bickering among each other when we all shared the same fight. The one thing we lacked, however, was uniformity. Each leader I mentioned had their own way or ways and means of how to deal with the problems that we incurred. Some were Christian, others were Muslim, and many were Pan-Africanists, or nothing at all. The difference between us and whites is that once whites establish an agenda, they somehow come to an agreement and subsequently carry out that agenda. Like once they stole this land, they all agreed to implement their own educational system and government. They then established capable men in each area of the country to maintain their agenda and named them politicians. You would think that we would look at the amount of money we earn and or spend here, that we would use this as leverage towards getting some of our demands met. We still haven't released ourselves of the overall dependency of whites after years of not being enslaved. We often claim we have no power when the power of our dollar is the only power that we need in a capitalistic society. We fail to recognize the power we do have for the mystery power we don't have. The unity we once embraced has suffered to the point where it's rarely, if ever, seen. We gotta wake up. So in conclusion, I ask, where is the love we have for each other? And can we get it back? And on that note, I teach and I don't preach. Peace.